What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Saturday, May 30th, 2026. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me today, as she is a author, journalist out there in Utah. She has done work for KSL News Radio, and she's also done work with Salt Lake Magazine as well. But as you can see in her background, she doesn't just stop at journalism. She also is a songwriter. She has a single out called Main Street, okay? And she has albums on the back of her wall, so she loves music and she loves the songwriting. So we're going to talk to her about that. Her name is Mariah Maynes. And again, we're going to talk to her about her why of getting to know her outside of her occupation, but also ask her some fun questions, some get to know you questions. So without any further ado, I introduce to y'all the wonderful, talented, and the beautiful Mariah. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me, Chris. It's an honor to be invited and to be speaking with you today. And I am coming from usually sunny, but today raining, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah, tell me about it. Can't believe it's almost June and we still getting these like temperatures of rain and cold and all that. Like that's just so crazy. That's blows my mind. We can have a podcast of our own about that for sure, no question. But with that being said, I'm going to ask you the same question, the first question I should say, as I ask all my guests here on the podcast. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for wanting to get into journalism and songwriting?
Absolutely. So I grew up just loving music and loving performing. I was in ballet classes for a really long time, and then I ultimately got into high school marching band, and that's where I learned my love of songwriting. I had some really great mentors that not only helped me become a good marching band student and player in that sense, but also encouraged me to start writing songs.
Mm,
And then I got into music school at the University of Utah and completed my BA in music there, where I studied a lot of percussion. I was a pretty good timpani player at the time, and then
mm,
also continued honing my songwriting under Michael Sammons and Kelly Wallace. They were two of my biggest inspirations in my college years. And then as I graduated and got out, I was like, do I want to continue with songwriting as a full-time career?
right,
Because songwriting is
right.
a very difficult thing to build a life in. And I kind of was at a point too where I was really burned out and I was really
Mm,
questioning whether I wanted to continue to do music at all. And then that's when I
right.
got hired at KSL News Radio and ended up working there under some amazing news directors and with some really amazing colleagues. And I actually wrote my first story about skiing there. It was, I think, like a couple months after I'd been hired. And I realized that I love writing about the outdoors and I love reporting on the outdoors. I've always had a love of adventure too. And so then from there, that's become my why. And I really want to inspire people to get outside, to explore all these beautiful landscapes we have all over the world. And then to protect them and advocate for them in whatever way that makes sense for the individual. You know, not everyone can be in a national park every day, but we can read about them, we can write about them, we can support them, we can donate to charity, or just, visit them next time you're near one.
I like that. I do. Let me ask you, do you still have like desire to want to be kind of do a dual threat? Not only do the journalism and write about outdoors and environment and stuff like that, but also songwrite. Do you still have the passion to want to do both, or have you just transitioned to maybe journalism more?
My main gig is journalism nowadays, but I do
Mm.
still love writing songs. I've actually been
Mhm.
collaborating with a really great local musician on a new song right now. I
Oh.
don't have many details on that, but I'm hoping to get it out by the end of this year.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I'd answer that by saying I journalism's my gig and I love the work I do now. But I'm also really happy that I've found a place for music in my life still.
For sure, 1,000%. And those of you that will eventually watch this podcast episode, please go check out some of Mariah's articles in the Men's Journal, which is going to be based in the Men's Journal. Particularly, I just read a couple about air conditioning. So I'm telling you, she is a great writer, no question about that. Great journalist. So please go check that out. You talked about it, University of Utah. So you are an alumni Ute. That's what their school is, Utah Ute. So, but I want to know, were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to the University of Utah? And if so, what were those schools?
Um, Honestly, USC, University of Southern California. I
Mm,
really wanted to leave Utah when I was applying to colleges. And it kind of
mm,
just it didn't work out that way. Between the cost of college, which is a big barrier for a lot of people, and then also just the
for
cost of
sure.
living nowadays. And also I'd like to point out music degrees are a lot of hard work and long hours, and there's a reason so many people that study music in their undergrad go on to be successful in medical school and law school. And it's because when you're a music major, you are in rehearsals all day, you're in classes all day, you're practicing all day, and then you also have to be a normal college student and do homework and have time for your friends and figure out how to support yourself. So yeah, music school is a really big undertaking, and ultimately I chose the University of Utah because of the great faculty and staff in the percussion area,
Hmm.
as well as it was closer and the cost just made a lot more sense for me. I was able to live at home through school, which helped a ton, and I'm
For
so lucky
sure.
to have had that privilege. And also Utah's gorgeous, so I'm glad that I made the move I did.
Yeah, I can honestly say this one of the states I have never visited. But I don't know if you're in the Salt Lake area, but give me like if you're in the Salt Lake area, give me like four things to do when I do touch down in Utah, because that's obviously one of the big time cities that I would like to visit. Is Salt Lake City.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm from Salt Lake City. That's where I'm at right now.
Hmm.
As soon as you get in, make some time to check out Salt Lake's coffee scene and the bar scene in the evening. I
Now
feel
you
like a lot of
talking.
people
Okay.
hear about Utah and they're like, bars in Utah? Because we do have a very weird alcohol culture here, but there are so many great locally owned bars. I've had the privilege of getting to know a lot of them through my work with Salt Lake Magazine. And then I'd say go to the mountains. Whether you're a hiker or a skier or neither, make some time to go up in those canyons and just take in the views and really get an appreciation for that part of the Utah landscape. It's something I didn't do growing up, and I'm so glad that I've
Hmm.
gotten into it as I've entered my 20s and been in my 20s. Because the mountains are beautiful. And then I think that fourth thing would be take a day trip to Park City. It's about 40 minutes from Salt Lake City. And
Okay.
yeah, it's like a whole other world away. It's this little cute ski town. It's also really well known. And again, a lot of great food, a lot of great bars, cafes, shopping if you're into that. Just a beautiful place to get away for a day.
Okay, I would definitely keep that in mind because, like I said, it's definitely a place I would like to go to. I like to visit all the states because I'm a huge traveling type of person. But Salt Lake City is definitely a place in Utah. If I was to go there, I would love to see. And obviously, if I do go there and you're there, I'm definitely gonna hit you up. We got to do something. That's for sure. I would love that.
Yeah, please do. That would be great. I'm always down to get to know people and show people around my hometown. I'm very proud to be from Salt Lake City.
I love it. I love it. Now I'm gonna ask you some favorite questions, and Mariah, you give me some of you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon some of these favorite questions. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
Ooh, I just made a really great baked ziti that I saw on Instagram. So I
Uh-huh.
think that's my new favorite. I also have a really great recipe for a creamy chicken soup thing that I put together this ski season after a long day on the slopes.
Okay. Okay. I like the ziti for sure. For sure. Chicken soup, I like that too. So yeah, you got some good taste. I like that. All right, here we go. Let's keep it going. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh, that's a tough one because I've been to so many
Hmm.
incredible ones. I'd have to say MGK when he came in 2022 for
Mm.
his mainstream
Okay.
sellout tour. Dude just like goes at it on the stage, and you can tell he loves what he does. And also, I think I've connected with his music on a very deep level, just in my life. So I'll go with that.
Okay, I got you, MGK. He do got some bangers, that's for sure. I'm a huge Weekend guy, so I love the Weekend. So that's one of my favorite artists for sure. And obviously, you're going to actually see one of my favorite artists as well tonight, which is Kesha. So hopefully, you have a great time out there in Utah going to see her for sure, no doubt. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Um, you got great questions, man. You're making me think today.
Yeah.
I have to say Breckenridge, Colorado, and there's a very specific reason. I
Wow.
was invited on a press trip by OnX backcountry this last winter, and I got to go
Mm,
out there and backcountry ski with a lot of really great journalists and great
okay.
skiers. And I was only there for like I think 48 hours or 72 hours, like 3 days.
Yeah.
But just everything we did left me with such a great impression of that town, and I would love to go back and spend more time there. I'd also like to add Seattle. I've been to Seattle, Washington like 3 different times, and just I love the vibes out there. I love that it's always rainy. I love the culture, and it's just so beautiful.
Got you, got you. I definitely would say Colorado is definitely one of my favorite states to visit. No question about that. Love that place. Seattle is definitely a great place. I'm very opposite of you though, Mariah. I do not always like it raining for sure. But I don't like it super hot either. Give me a nice cool breeze with some sun. Doesn't need to be super hot. 60 degrees is fine. That's totally fine. Even 55, that's not terrible either. But yeah, no, the rain, I don't like it always raining, but for sure. But I love it. It's okay. I love that. I'm a sports person. So I'm going to ask you a two-part sports question, okay?
Okay.
Favorite sport you like to watch on TV, favorite sport you like to attend in person. They can be the same sport.
Okay. I think to watch on TV hockey, just because it's so fast paced and interesting.
For sure.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I got to play floor hockey in gym class a lot with my classmates, and those are just some of my best memories also. So that probably
Okay.
plays a part in it.
Cool.
And then to watch in person, definitely any sort of ski racing. I go to a lot of those, and they're
Oh,
just the athleticism is incredible, and watching these people go down these really like mogully bumpy ski hills so fast, or they're going through the flags really, like, it's just incredible to watch. And I think as a skier that doesn't do any of that, I'm so impressed by those people, and I think it's badass.
absolutely. No question about that. I'm a huge fan of watching it for sure. So tragic what happened to Lindsey Vaughn. No question about that. But I'm such a huge fan of just watching them because I love to see people do stuff that I can't do, which is another sport that you named, which was hockey. I can't skate to save my damn life. So I appreciate all the hockey players that's out there on ice to be able to skate and stop and do their thing, and not only that, hit a puck at the same time. I think it's pretty amazing. So yeah, hockey is a great sport. Are you a fan of the mammoth that's out there?
I am a fan of the Mammoth. It's been really awesome to have an NHL team come to Utah. I have
Hmm.
to say though, the St. Louis Blues also. I know someone really well from Missouri, so I'm like the Blues. He
Okay.
loves the Blues, and yeah.
Hmm. Okay, I got you. I got you. I had to ask. I like that though. I'm a huge hockey fan for sure. No question about that. Okay, last of the favorites. Obviously, when I do touch down in Salt Lake City, I'm a huge foodie. Oh, it's not foodie, and I love going to different places to eat. What is your favorite restaurant to eat at?
Oh, I'd say East Liberty Tap House. It's this little local restaurant by one of our city parks here in Salt Lake, and they make really great, like, more elevated bar foods. So like burgers, chicken sandwiches. I love their fries so much. And you can get a glass of red wine while you're there. Like, to me, a perfect combo is fries and red wine. So,
Wow. Now, girl, now we vibing because red wine is good. A good Cabernet red wine and some fries is definitely good. like I said, when I do touch down in Salt Lake City, because there's a lot of sporting events that go down there. You know, they have NCAA events. They had the All-Star NBA All-Star game there just I think a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So they have different type of events that go on there. So at some point, I know I will touch down in Salt Lake, and like I said, I will go to that tap house for sure, and I will hit you up when I'm there too, if you're still there. No question about that. So I love that. That's amazing. Let's talk about your day-to-day process. As a journalist, you know, no 2 days are ever the same. We're always doing something different, writing about something different, talking to different people, which is some of the beauty of why we do what we do. It's amazing, right? To be able to just talk to different people and have them impact your life differently, but also do different stories. It never gets redundant, never gets boring because you just never know what you're going to do, depending on whatever outlet or publication network you're working at. So talk to me about your day-to-day process of how many articles do you write? What time frame do you work from to, right? How many different kind of articles do you write? Do you ever tap into sports? Do you ever tap into politics? Are you just strictly nature, environment, outdoors, stuff like that? So talk to me about that.
Totally. So right now my day to day looks pretty different on any given day because I am freelancing. I
Right.
was working for Salt Lake Magazine and an editor and was unfortunately laid off due to restructuring that a corporation had just bought the magazine. So during that time, I loved being able to come in the office and log in and learn about what our freelancers were writing because I felt like I learned a lot from them. I think you mentioned that you love learning about people and learning from people, and that resonates
For
with me
sure.
so much, and that's one of my favorite parts of journalism.
Hmm.
So now in the last 2 months, since I've been on my own, I've been spending a lot of time pitching. I wake up in the morning and I do a really simple exercise where I just write down 5 story ideas on a Word document. And
Okay.
I tell myself they don't have to be good. They don't even have to be like anything relevant to any of my connections. It's just to get the wheels turning. And that's something I pulled from my year studying music was I had a professor that was very into improvising during the day to just get the ideas flowing and get your musical ideas like the wheels turning. So
For
then
sure.
after I do that, I'll work on any assignments I do have. I tend to focus my work mostly on the outdoors. I think that's just the space I live in, and that's why my work focuses so much on the outdoors. But also,
Right.
I've had those articles with Men's Journal recently, which have been so fascinating because I never thought I'd be like writing about cleaning AC coils. Like they just were like, "Hey, we need a writer for this. Are you interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'll do it."
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And that's so outside of anything I've ever done before, but it was really fun to do that type of article. And then I've dove a little bit into performance psychology too, which I'm also just I think kind of fascinated about because I am such an avid skier and I love the sport. I do it at least once a week in the winters. So I recently did an article for Ski Magazine about visualizing and imagining yourself doing the action, whether it's skiing or music or, any other sort of. And that can actually, I learned, help you get better at the sport the same way actually doing it can. It was
Right.
really fascinating. And that idea came from also my time studying music.
Wow. Now, talk about that being an active skier. Um, now, how good would you say is your skills? Are you beginner? Are you intermediate? Or are you advanced?
Definitely advanced. I'm really
Oh,
adventurous.
oh,
Um, yeah, it's been really fun to, I guess, watch myself get good at it because I didn't grow up skiing. I get a lot like, you grew up in Utah, you never skied, and no, because a lot of people here, locals, don't get into it because of the cost of the sport, and also my family
mm,
just they're not skiers, they had never done it. But so when I was 19, I had a friend invite me to go up to one of the resorts here, and like from the moment I put the boots on, I loved it.
okay.
Yeah, and so in the last, 5, 6 years, I've just like I think because I do it so much, and when I enjoy something, like I'm one of those people that's obsessed with it and want to do it all the time.
For sure.
And yeah, and so I've just anytime I feel ready, I'm pushing myself, pushing my skills. And then more recently I've gotten into backcountry skiing, which is kind of a whole other world, and that's been very fascinating.
Yeah, and definitely, I would definitely want to touch up on that a little bit later for sure, because I've never even heard of that before, probably even saying it. But you talked about freelancing. That's what I do, obviously, and we're pitching stories to different publications and networks. I particularly cover us teams for a network that I do right now out here in upstate New York, and I've been doing so for the past few months. Talk to me about the pros and cons in your mind. And I'll definitely partake on this one too. But let me hear from your perspective first about freelancing and what it does, what it can do for a journalist.
Totally. I'll start with the pros. I mean, you're more or less forced to make connections as a freelancer and to reach
Sure.
out. Say you have a story idea that you're like, I really want to do this, but it doesn't really fit anywhere that I've written before. You can
Right.
go on LinkedIn a lot of times and find the editors of these publications you think it might fit better in. And a lot of times they're more than happy to read your pitch. And even if it's not a good fit, I've been invited to pitch other stories from that method. And then I think one of the cons is we live in such a difficult time as journalists, between the economy and the job market being the way it is. And that does go beyond just your typical full-time or part-time job. Like journalists are feeling it too. It's hard to get work, and there's a lot of people going for this work, and magazines and newsrooms, they don't have a ton of budget. So sometimes it can be really, really hard to get a story placed. And like
Right.
I've had to back out of really cool opportunities because I couldn't get a story placed, and it always is a bummer to do that because I want to go experience these things and meet the people and be able to travel and tell these stories, and you can't always do that if you don't have an outlet to put it in.
Right. Absolutely. And I'll second that because you hit it right on the head with the pros for sure. I know another pro for me was flexibility. Anytime that you are a freelancer, you do have that flexibility of, really being able to hone in on the stories that you want to write. Yes, you are pitching, and yes, you do need to get these stories accepted, but typically when you do work in a publication network station, they give you a rundown of what they would like for you to cover, and at times those are very good stories to do, but then at times you definitely see that there's some other times that you want to do stories that they might ask and they might say no to. So and you have to go by what they say because those are the masters and the bosses. So the flexibility is a pro for me. The con you hit right on the head. The con is definitely something where when you're getting turned down, you might not get called back. The benefits as well. You're not benefits sometimes are a struggle, and a lot of freelancers, such as myself, you have to be able to supplement that by getting another occupation. I also subteach as well, which I love to do. I love to subteach, but that's where I get my benefits from. You don't get really any medical or dental type of benefits being a freelancer, but that's really what is why they call it the grind. Because the grind is being able to get out there and get your name known. The more known you are, the better, obviously, your money will be. So I do want to just add on to that, but it's also a great segue because I want to ask you now about work-life balance and mental health. I have seen it, Mariah, where many of these journalists that I've known in the industry have left this industry because their mental health was affected. They've also left because of work-life balance. It's tough to be work-life balance. It really is in this industry, in my opinion. I don't think you can ever be 100% balanced because balance looks different for everybody. And, everybody's life is different. I want to know, how do you keep strong mental health but also still try to have that work-life balance? Because you seem like a wonderful lady to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind hanging out with you at all. I think it would be fun. I think your family, and friends feel the same way. But you seem very dedicated to journalism as well. So talk to me. How do you keep your mental strong and not get overwhelmed or burnt out?
Yeah, totally. And you're absolutely right. It can be a struggle to maintain a work life balance in this field whether you're a
Mm.
freelancer or working in a newsroom. And I've done both, and I've actually overlapped these roles. As you said, oftentimes as a freelancer, you have to take on a second job, or just to make ends meet. And for me, I think I've entered my journalism career understanding the importance of. Are you still there? I might have lost you. Understanding the importance of you
Oh,
still
I
there?
think, yeah, I think I lost you for a minute. I saw you said the last thing that you said was, "Oh yeah, you're right," and then boom, you went black. I was like, I was like, okay,
Oh
uh,
no.
right. Where Mariah go? I was like, oh man. But listen, go ahead back into your spiel, because I love that you when you said you're right. So yeah, I'll let you take it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you're obviously, you're very right about having it's hard to have a work-life balance sometimes as a freelancer. I think especially when you are a very driven person, like I get the impression we're both that way and we're both similar.
For
Um
sure.
like we want to be doing things, and we want our career to be moving forward, and I've met so many journalists that are that way. But also it can get difficult when you're holding multiple jobs, and like you're holding, like, early in my career I had a part-time newsroom job, which I loved, but they couldn't give me full-time hours, and that's how I ended up kind of dipping my toes into freelancing.
Right.
Was I was like, I need to, like, find something else. But
Right.
with the mental health thing, I think personally I entered my journalism career understanding the importance of work-life balance because I experienced such severe burnout in college. Because going back to how I was talking about people that are very driven, you end up meeting a lot of people like that in music school as well. And I was one of those people, and I worked really, really hard, but I think at the time I just was still so young, I didn't understand that I needed to take time off for my own sanity. And I ended up in
Right.
this really rough place where I started to hate what I was doing, and I started to hate going to school. And I remember playing shows and just being like, I want this over with because I'm so exhausted.
Right.
Um, so as I've transitioned into working life and into a journalism career, I've had a very strong boundary with myself and with every employer I've worked with that I only do 8 hours of work a day. And, if a story's really pressing and I need to be on a little bit later, like, yeah, I'm going to finish it up. But if it's something that can be finished tomorrow and that can wait, I'm waiting. If I get to that eighth hour, like, time's out. We're done. Because I need the time to rest and to hang out with my dogs and my friends and go on a walk or go skiing. I think also I have a really strong personal policy that I only work 5 days a week. And sometimes those days change. There have certainly been days where I worked on a Sunday and then took like a Wednesday off to go do whatever.
For sure.
But it's so important. I think, especially just in the modern world, to take time for yourself and to put the phone away. Like, I struggle with that a lot. I'm a Gen Zer, and I, like, grew up with social media. Like, I got my first Instagram account when I was 12. It's been a part
Oh
of my life for a
wow.
very long
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember that being the cool thing. Like, oh, I want social media. This is so cool and new. And now I'm like, why did I have it? Like,
Right.
it's yeah,
I feel that.
it's a great way to connect, but I think a lot of people, myself included, get sucked into it and sucked into that scrolling. So I always try to just I put the phone away. I have weeks where I delete social media from my cell phone and just, like, because then that prevents me from scrolling when I'm not by my laptop. Um yeah, and then also I think just being honest with yourself. Like, if I could give advice to a new journalist or somebody entering the workforce at all, be honest with yourself. Like, are you burnt out today? Okay, you're burnt out today. Go do something you love. Take an hour to take a nap or go on a walk. Because constantly checking in with myself is something that I've learned how to do, and I've had to learn how to do it, and it has
Right.
helped so much.
I'm glad. I appreciate your transparency, Mariah. I do. Because not a lot of people have came on here and said that they have a hard line of, okay, listen, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Especially people that just graduated college. Because people that just graduated college, a lot of them are like, on the go, go, go. I'll say yes to anything. They don't really think about the boundaries, and that's the key word that I heard you say is that boundaries, right? You got to set those boundaries from the start, and know that this is what you need to do in order for you to be effective and at your best, right? And most companies they don't look at mental health as something of importance. I won't even say most companies. Maybe that's misspeaking. Some companies look like that, and my thing is to highlight in this podcast that I normally do, and I talk to a lot of media people and stuff like that, is to be able to show the A side and the B side. And the A side is what we do, the storytelling, being able to be pillars in our community, being able to write different articles, different ways, being able to talk to a numerous amount of people. You just never know who you talk to could, again, affect your life or you can learn something from. But the B side is you do have to work long hours at times. You do work on holidays. You do miss times with friends and family. I know there's been plenty of times myself where I thought I was going to be off and I got called in to do a game or do a story. And I have learned that kind of hard line myself personally is that, okay, you know what? It's cool if I don't do it. Don't let me always be the first one to be called, or I don't want to be working 6 days a week for consecutive weeks like that. Like everybody else is getting 2 days off. What's up? What's up with me? Right? So it's a fair question to ask, and it kind of bleeds into the next question, which you touched upon it a little bit, and that's advice. What is some other advice I would say that you would give someone that's either entering college or someone that's just graduating from college, that's about to step into the workplace, that wants to be not only in the journalism realm, but also in the music, because you went to school for music, and there's people out there that might want to pursue music as a career. What would you tell them?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of overlaps within working in journalism and working in music. They're both fields that experience high burnout, as we mentioned. And so I'd say be flexible in your expectations of what your career might look like.
Mhm.
Because I've met people that work in both. And like I knew someone at my first job out of college who was a DJ and then also was a radio reporter. And it was so cool that he made that work. But your career may not look the way you want it to, especially not at first. And be patient with yourself about that and realize that sometimes it's out of your hands. We are in a very tough job market. I've been experiencing that a lot lately because I have been applying for other editorial roles since I was laid
Mm.
off.
Okay.
For me personally, I'd love to take on another staff role somewhere, but it might not happen for a while. And so I think that patience is very important, and also just trust the process. I had a college professor that told me that all the time. Like every time I had a lesson with him, Mariah, trust the process. And
Yeah.
at first I was like, yeah, like I am, I promise. I look back at my college years and I really wasn't. But I'm grateful that he still told me that because it taught me to remind myself that, and I still always think of that. And I remember realizing I wanted to be an outdoor focused writer while I was working my first job, which was in a newsroom and was just doing general content for the website, whether it was writing a story for breaking news or putting a reporter's story onto social media. And I was like, I don't want to be doing this forever. Like, and then I remember like finally I got a pretty big contract with Mountain News to write about North American ski resorts for ski season. And when I
Mhm.
got that, I was like, oh my gosh, it worked. Like trusting the process worked. Obviously, you have to do
Right.
things while you're trusting the process, but if you're taking steps in the right direction and you're trusting that it'll happen one day, I think that's a great, like, you're golden at that point.
I appreciate that. Now, just a bonus question for me, since you were talking. I know you're still applying for different kind of roles and jobs, especially in the staff room, as you said. Has it? Will there be a time that you may have to leave Utah?
I'm sure there will be. I I would love to live outside of Utah. I've lived here my whole life. And I'm very open to it.
Okay,
I hope that
that
for
was
the
my question.
time, yeah, I think for the time being, I'm very happy here, and I'd be willing to pack up and leave for a different job, but if I have the choice, right now I'd stay.
I love it. I love it. Have you ever been to Nashville?
I haven't, but I would love to go. It's definitely on my list of places to travel.
I think you would love the city. Obviously, with your personality, how wonderful you are, how wonderful the music,
Mhm.
is just authentic there. No question about it. I think you would love that. They carry around guitars and they carry around their different type of instruments. They walk freely, right? No security, no nothing. It's just a great scene to go into tap rooms and dive bars and regular bars to be able to play live, authentic type of music. But just to know the city enrichment in not just country music, but all kinds of genre of music. I think you would love it. So if you have not put that on your bucket list, which I think you just mentioned you did, you definitely should go there because I think that'll be a perfect fit for you for sure.
Absolutely. I need to do more traveling. For sure. And it's yeah, I think I love it there too. I agree with what you said.
Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt. Now, we have reached a portion of my podcast that we are going to play my interactive game called This or That. It's a game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. And it's very simple, Mariah. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. First question is, which of these two restaurants would you rather sit down and eat at? Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
Longhorn.
Okay, I like that. How do you like your steak?
Medium rare.
Girl, you are on point like a period. I'm talking about that right now. That's what's up. I like it the same way. That's why I say that. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we keep this thing rolling. When it comes to chicken wings, which of these two flavors would you rather put on the wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper.
Okay. So, with that being said, do you like your wings wet or dry?
I don't eat enough wings, so I'm gonna say wet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with wet. I haven't had a lot of wings.
No, I feel that. I feel that, and we might have to change that, girl, because wings is the truth. But I say that to say, which of these would you rather do with the wing? Would you rather eat it boneless or bone in?
I'd say boneless. I don't like to have to chew around the bone to get all the meat.
Okay. Or do you eat your wings with a fork when you do eat wings?
No, not usually, unless it's like excessively messy and I have somewhere to be later.
Okay, I love it. So you like to go to work, get it wet, get a wet wipe, eat it, but you just want the meat. You don't want no bone.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I'm with you on that. Oh, I can respect that. I like that. Listen, I like it either way, but I definitely like a wet wing. Like, give me all the sauce, please. And mind you, I said this or that, but I also do like buffalo sauce. I'm a huge buffalo sauce person. I'm also huge in the garlic parmesan as well. I like that as well. So yeah, I do like other sauces, but definitely the top two would be lemon pepper barbecue for sure. These next five questions have to do with music concerts you rather attend. If I said, Mariah, what kind of music do you normally listen to? Would you say all genres or would you say a specific genre?
I'd say all genres right now, but that definitely changes. I'm all over the place with my music.
Oh, yeah, me too. No question. I like that. So you're going to get all over the place type of question. So here we go. All right. First question is, which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Beyonce or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Ooh, okay. I like how definite you was on that. I like that. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it going. Which music concert of these two artists would you rather go see? Carrie Underwood or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Wow, you said that fast. Are you a Swiftie?
I am a Swiftie. I love her music and I love her as a person. I think what she stands for is incredible.
Okay. All right. No doubt about it. Now her last album, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't a huge fan of her last album, but The Fate of Ophelia is one of my favorite songs and definitely is on my Spotify for sure. But my all-time favorite song of hers is Wildest Dreams. No question. Definitely a song I love. These two artists, which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Kesha or Avril Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne.
Ooh, okay, all right, okay. That might be a little bit of a surprise, but if people know you, it's probably not going to be a surprise because you love Avril Lavigne, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love her. I've seen her in Vegas. I think also she's just one of those artists that I've listened to throughout my life and I've just grown to love everything she can do and all of her lyrics too. I definitely have a more punk rock side to myself that resonates with her music.
Okay, all right. So now we're gonna switch up the genres on this next one. So out of these two artists, which artist would you rather go see? Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
Girl, you if I say it again, you are on point like a period. I'm trying to tell you right now, girl, you are perfect right now. We are perfect. Let's see if we can keep this going. Because all four of your picks, I would have picked two. Here we go. Last one of the music. Let's see if we can keep it. Which music concert of these two artists would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Lil Wayne or J. Cole?
Lil Wayne.
I got you. I got you. Okay. That one was close. That one was close. I got a bonus one for you though, before I get to next this or that question. This music. Which music artist, which I'm actually gonna go to their concert. But I want to hear from you. Which music artist of these two would you rather go see? Google Dolls or Matchbox 20?
Oh, that's such a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Two of my favorite
Probably.
groups.
Yeah, mine too. And I love
Mhm.
Unwell by Matchbox 20 right now. It's like one of my favorites. I'm
For
gonna have
sure.
to say Matchbox 20 just because that song is like one of my all-time favorites at the moment.
No question. Unwell is very good. Obviously, Rob Thomas being the lead singer of Matchbox 20. Someday is on repeat on my Spotify. I play that song all the time. But Google Dolls, no slight to you. Iris is definitely a bop as well. Those of you that will watch this, if you don't know Iris from Google Dolls, you don't know Unwell from Matchbox 20, or Someday from Rob Thomas, his solo stuff, you need to definitely go check that out because it's three of my favorite songs. So it's really good music. You did very good on the music portion. Let's go back to sports. Which sport of these two would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Badminton.
Are you good at badminton?
I don't think I've ever played it, but I don't like bowling. So I'll go with that. I've bowled many times in my
Okay.
life. It's not my thing.
Okay. Well, listen, that's all right. The lesser of two evils is how you're picking them. So I get it. I totally understand. All right. Here we go with this sport. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch basketball or football?
Football.
Are you a football fan? And what's your favorite team?
I I wouldn't say a fan, but I am a casual watcher. I think because I played in marching band and now I understand it and can watch it. So I don't have a favorite team, but I have watched football.
Well, listen, now that you know a sports journalist, I don't know, I know you probably know sports, but I can definitely help you understand sports a lot better. If you did, you can just ask me any question you want, and I'm with you on that for sure. No question.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to learn more. So I'll have to send you a message.
Please do. And please teach me about marching band because other than I know how you marching and you hitting the instrument, I don't know nothing else about marching band. So I would love to learn some little intricacies about that because it takes very good skill to be able to walk, hit on rhythm, on time, and, with lots of people watching you at these sporting events for sure. That takes a lot of skill. So yes, no doubt. Okay. Do you like desserts?
It depends on the dessert. I don't have a huge sweet tooth, but a good like mildly sweet dessert is always welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to name 4 categories of desserts. And what you're going to do is choose one of these categories that you would never eat again. Okay, so here we go. First category is cookies. The second category is candy. The third category is grouped together. So they're pies/cakes. The last category is ice cream. Which category are you getting rid of?
Candies.
Okay, I would have got rid of the same category, but now I'm going to ask you this. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
I'd say vanilla.
Hmm. Okay. Now I do like me some. Now hold on, is it regular vanilla or French vanilla?
French vanilla. All the way.
French vanilla. Got you. Now, I'm a huge vanilla advocate, no question about that. But my favorite flavor is cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is definitely my favorite flavor, no question about it. I'm a huge proponent of buying French vanilla ice cream, the Breyers, which is so delicious, but also getting my double stuffed Oreos on the side, and then I'll take about maybe 4 or 5 Oreos and crush them up in a bowl and eat cookies and cream that way. So I'm a huge proponent of that.
I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I've been doing that for years. It's so amazing. Do you like potato chips?
I do.
Okay, so this is the same format. I'm gonna name 4 brands. You have to choose one of these brands to get rid of, okay? And I will
Okay.
tell you right off the bat, Mariah, Cheetos is not one of the 4 brands. Okay, so
Perfect.
there you go. First brand is Doritos. The second brand is Pringles. The third brand is Ruffles. The last brand is Lay's. Which one are you getting rid of?
Probably the Doritos.
Okay, so Mariah, if you and I are walking into a grocery store together, and I tell you, hey, go to the chip aisle and buy your favorite chip to eat, what chip are you buying?
I'm gonna get the Ruffles.
Girl, you are perfect. I don't know where the hell have you been? Where have you been? I mean, you must have been hiding under a rock or something. Because, girl, you named my favorite brand of chips. Do you know that you are like one of maybe 5 people? And I've done over
Really?
400 episodes.
Wow.
Maybe 5. And I might be generous with that. Yeah, 5, seriously. That have named Ruffles as their favorite chip. Now, there's many people that picked Doritos as they will get rid of. But
Mhm.
not many people have picked Ruffles as their favorite chip.
That's surprising to me because, like, my
Very.
family and friends, like, they all, like, we're Ruffles people.
Okay, so if I ask you out of the Ruffles brand, what is your favorite flavor of Ruffles chip? You would say what?
Original.
I like it. See, that's cool. That's even more amazing because that leaves the barbecue and the sour cream and cheddar for me. So, because that's my favorite. That's my favorite for sure.
Awesome.
No question. I love that. That's amazing. That is awesome. And listen, you have been awesome on that this or that. You was totally great. Now, I want to transition because this next question is called bucket list.
Okay.
The reason why it's called bucket list is because I want you to speak it into fruition. And that is, give me a top 4 list of events or stories you would like to do in your journalism career that you haven't done yet.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Definitely skiing in Scandinavia. I've been trying to go over there for like 2 years, and I would love to go at some point and go skiing over there.
Okay.
Um, what else? There are so many things I could say.
Mm.
Um, I think definitely more highlights on like local outdoors brands, not only in Utah, but just around the US and around the world. I think the larger corporations get so much attention, and there are a lot of great smaller outfitters. Like I know here in Utah, Dale Boots is a really great ski boot manufacturer.
Yeah.
Um, so I think a series of stories on smaller outfitters and outlets and manufacturers would be way cool.
Okay.
Um, I'd love to get an editorial, like a full-time editorial job at one of Outside Magazine's brands eventually. They're
Okay.
like my favorite magazine ever, and Everyone I work with at that company and everyone I've interacted with is just such a nice and passionate person, and I feel like I'd fit in really well there. Um, and then I think I'd love to spend a month in Europe and write a series on just like all the
Hmm.
things I did, like the European cocktail tour and the best pasta of Italy and kind of all the best ofs that I saw and just really root that in
Oh,
my experience.
I would read it. That's for sure. No, I would definitely read that. And I love how your top four differentiates. I don't think I've ever had anybody on here talk about skiing and where? Where did you say? Skiing or what?
Scandinavia.
Scandinavia. Yeah, nobody has ever mentioned that. I would definitely love to read about that because that's something that's unique. Now, I do want to mention this bonus question to you, and that is, you talk about skiing, but has there ever, sorry, been any desire for you to snowboard?
No, there hasn't. That it looks
Wow.
terrifying, and I had a friend try it and she said it was really hard, and I'm like I just love skiing too much.
I feel it. Okay, okay. Now we talked about advice that you would give someone, but what is some advice that someone has gave you, Mariah, that you hold on dearly to?
I mentioned it earlier, but definitely the trust the process that my one college professor always used to tell me and still tells me when I see him. But I think also really make sure to make time for the people that matter in your life.
Mhm.
Because without family and friends and mentors, like none of us would have the careers that we have. And I know I love my career a lot, and I'm so grateful that I have people cheering me on.
Absolutely, no question. And I'm guessing that family is close by there in Utah for you, and you are able to, kind of call and reach out to them and talk to them, whenever you are having maybe a tough day or even having a great day, right?
Totally. Yeah, so I live in downtown Salt Lake, and then my family lives in like the suburbs. My grandma's really close and my mom's really close. So I see them
Hmm.
a lot too, which is it's really helpful during the tough times and then also during the really great times to be able to call up my mom and be like, I sold my story that I've been working on, or I did this thing. So yeah, they're very close and very supportive, and it's really sweet.
Love I love that. Now, I want to ask you about songwriting. Like, there's a lot of different people that, write songs. I like poetry. I like to write poems. Sometimes I may turn them into song like. But my best writing has always been through some of the pain that I've experienced in my life. And I hate to say that, but it's just sometimes it's emotionally, sometimes it's with relationships. It's just pain like that. What would you say is your kind of writing style or songs that you like to write? Are they happy go lucky songs, or are they like myself, writing it through pain and sometimes misery like that?
I think the pain and misery a lot. My song Main Street, which we talked about earlier, was kind of like a once in a blue moon song where it's just really happy and upbeat and it's about hanging out like with your friends on Main Street and reconnecting with people. But yeah,
Sure.
usually a lot of my songs have been when I've been going through things or when I've been processing things or like with my recent layoff, I found a lot of inspiration in that and connecting it
Mhm.
to some of the tropes that go on in the music industry and the things that happen there. Because they're two worlds, journalism and music. They're the worlds I know best, and so yeah, the misery and pain definitely. But I think also that middle ground. I tend to write it a lot, or at least revisit things and revise them when I'm kind of in that middle ground where I can see it objectively, but also I still understand it.
For sure. 1,000%. And I love, again, your transparency on that. I wanted to ask you that question because I know for me personally, I love, like I said, meeting songwriters, talking to songwriters, poetry people, because I think it's just a skill to be able to put words together that rhyme, but also really make sense on how you're feeling at that particular time, depending on the song that you're writing. So I think it's just a huge skill, and that makes me smile anytime I get to talk to people like yourself. I want to do some rapid fire with you, and that's basically the first thing that comes to your mind. is a little different than this or that. So we're just gonna go off these, and I'll shoot them at you. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Chicken or ribs?
Chicken.
Juice or soda?
Juice.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Oh, that's mine too. Hey, I'm with that.
Nice.
Favorite Netflix TV series or television series?
Oh, it's not on Netflix or TV, but it would have to be The Pit.
Okay. Yeah, I know about that. Interesting choice. I like that. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Wine.
Favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Right now it's Cherry Coke Zero.
Oh, girl, you're on point. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't
Yes.
drink any other soda outside of zero sugar. So yes, cherry Coke. Cherry Coke is my favorite though, and I love that. Okay, I love you for that. That's amazing. Um, favorite board game.
I'm gonna say Monopoly. I haven't played a lot of board games in my time.
Girl, I'm a beast when I get Boardwalk and Park Place. I'll be busting people's asses left and right. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, favorite card game.
Uno.
I'm a beast in that too. I hit you with them draw fours like it ain't nobody business. People be getting mad at me. That's Uno break up families. Okay, Uno be
Oh
breaking up families for sure. No question. No question. Okay, favorite sandwich.
yeah. Turkey and Swiss.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good choice. If you had a choice to choose 3 people plus you, so a total of 4, to go on vacation with, who are the 3 people that you choose and where would you go? Now, Mariah, before you choose, you can choose family, friends, or celebrities, or a combination of all 3.
Okay. I think I'd choose my best friend Lacey
Mm-hmm.
and my other friend Joe, and
Mm-hmm.
then probably Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And we'd go to probably Banff up in Canada.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard about that. Many people on my podcast have said about Banff. I don't know much about it, but they say it's one of the most beautiful places.
It looks incredible. I've seen so many photos from writing for Mountain News, and I'm like, I need to go up there at some point.
Okay, I like that. I like that choice. Shout out to your girl Lacey, you said, and Joe.
Yeah, Lacey and Joe.
Shout out to them. I know they're wonderful people, as you are, so they have to be wonderful themselves, no doubt. Okay. If you had a choice to choose 3 songs or 3 artists that you could listen to on repeat and never get tired of, who would these 3 artists or 3 songs be?
I'm gonna go with 3 artists, and it would
Mm-hmm.
be Taylor Swift,
Mm-hmm.
MGK,
Okay.
and Cher.
Wow. Do you believe in love after love? Okay.
Yes, I love her.
Wow, Cher. That is like, wait a minute. When you say MGK and then you say Taylor Swift and we go Cher, that's like 2 ends of the damn spectrum. All right. I was like, wow. Okay. I'm totally with you. I rock with you on that though. Okay. All right. What is the sport that Mariah would play that she would absolutely dominate in?
Pickleball.
Oh, okay. I like that. What is the sport that Mariah would play that she would absolutely suck in?
Basketball.
Wait a minute. Both of them are hand-eye coordination sports. How would you be so dominant in pickleball and in basketball?
It's the paddle with pickleball. I think it's my percussion training. Like, I've played both, and also I'm not the tallest person. So basketball isn't something I'm
I
really
feel
like.
it.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm not super tall myself. I'm only 6 feet. So, I mean, I'm talking like guy size. Guys are like 6'8", 6'9". So I'm 6 feet as a guy. I'm sure, and ladies, I'm sure you're around what, 5'4", 5'5"?
5'3".
Oh, well, that's cool too. You could be a point guard. A point guard in basketball. See. Listen, how about this? You teach me some pickleball stuff because that is a sport I would be sucking. I would be terrible in pickleball. First of all, I can't hit the ball with the paddle to save my life. I can't predict how the ball would bounce. I'm terrible. My partner yelled at me last time that we played. He yelled at me. He said, "Get out of here." I was like, "Okay, I got you, dog." And I put the paddle down so I can learn that. But basketball is my sport. I can definitely play that. So I could, show you some layups, shoot the ball. You just let me know, and I got you.
Sounds
Got you.
great to me, for
Here
sure.
we go. I love it. I love it. Now, if you had a choice to pick a journalism job to do for a week, what journalism job would you do and why?
I think probably a TV reporter for one of the national news outlets. And I'd
Okay.
say I would choose that because it would be a week of a lot of learning, and it's also so far outside of anything I've done before.
What is an environment as far as habitat, nature, wildlife? What is an environment like a park or something that you would love to go report on and do a story on? It could be
I'd say
anywhere in the world.
high alpine lakes. They're really high in the mountains. They're
Hmm.
so pretty, and I'm sure there's a lot of reporting to be done on them.
I love that. I love that. Now, if they came to you and said, Mariah, we love your reporting. We love the fact that you're a great journalist, which you are. You're amazing. No question about that. But we want you to report on a different genre. If they threw out these three genres, which one would you choose?
Okay.
Politics, sports, or travel?
Travel.
Okay. Now rank those. So travel's one,
Yeah.
sports would be what, and then politics would be what?
I'd put sports second and politics third.
So you have no desire to really do politics at all. I
No,
got you.
I've done some political reporting, and it is very important work, and I admire the people that do it, but it's
Yes,
just
we
not for
do.
me. I get too frustrated, and yeah, it's not my thing.
I totally understand that because I'm in the same boat with you. No question about that. Why I do sports? Because I love sports with a passion. I would do travel as well. Travel would be two for me. So I love to travel and stuff like that. Last two of the rapid fire. If they said, Mariah, um, we would want you to cover a natural disaster, like as far as weather-wise, which of these four would you pick? A hurricane? Which one of the four would you pick, I should say?
Okay,
Hurricane, tornado, snowstorm, or downpour rain?
I'd say snowstorm.
Ooh. Now, see, I shouldn't say that because you're in Utah, so snowstorms should not be something that is like oblivious to you. Like you definitely know about them for sure. So,
Uh,
but you would want to be in the middle of a snowstorm reporting?
yeah, I love snow. I don't know if it's because I have a January birthday and just love the cold, or if it's because I'm a skier or
Oh,
what. But I'm like, yeah, I anytime it snows here, I get so happy to the point people are like, "You're extra happy today." I'm like, "It's snowing outside. Like, it's gonna be a great day on the slopes. Like, it's beautiful outside."
so what that normally tells me when people normally have that type of attitude towards the snow, they're
Mhm.
very opposite with water. So a hurricane is probably something you wouldn't want to do. Am I correct?
I it wouldn't be my first pick, but I would do it. I think the worst one would be like severe heat because I do not like hot weather at all. I'd be fine with any sort of rain event. But yeah, if it's really hot outside, I'm just like I don't like I want to go inside. I want to be away from it.
I feel that. I totally feel that. That's awesome. That's awesome because I'm the exact opposite. Like
Uh-huh.
if it's snowing outside, I'm like, yo, I don't want to have this many damn layers of clothes on. Like this is crazy. Like I don't want to do that. Like it's very beautiful to watch the snow. Don't get me wrong, and
Uh-huh.
I'm in New York, so I get it. And I lived in Minnesota before, so I've always lived around snow. But I'm
Mhm.
like, I've also went to college in Georgia, so I spent
Mm.
time in weather that was very nice and hot and cool, and I like being outside. I told you I like playing basketball, I like playing sports, I like doing stuff. It's hard to do that when there's damn snow on the ground, so
Oh,
I understand that.
I could
Um,
see that.
right, right. You said you had a January birthday. Now I have a February birthday. Are you
Oh,
early January?
yeah, early.
Okay, so I'm early. So I'm early February. So I'm a Aquarius. So are you like a Capricorn?
Capricorn, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When's your birthday?
It's I don't want to say it on on a podcast, but it's in the first half of January.
First half of January. I got you. So mine is February 2nd. I would say that mine is
Okay.
February 2nd. So yes, yes, absolutely Groundhog Day. So yeah, I love that. I didn't know if you was going to be an Aquarius or not as well, because obviously late January is Aquarius as well. That's what I was saying. Okay. Last of the rapid fire of this question. If they said, Mariah, pick your favorite type of genre of food out of these three, which one would you choose? Would you choose Asian, which could be Chinese, Vietnamese, or Korean, anything like that? Would you
Mhm.
pick Italian, or would you pick Mexican? Which one would you say is number one for you?
Mexican.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Girl, you are just perfect. No question about it. Well, I don't know where you've been hiding under rocks, boulders down there in Salt Lake City. I don't know where you've been, but you are absolutely perfect. And this has been a really, really dope podcast of just learning about your why, your upbringing from Utah, you being able to do articles in men's journals about environment, AC, coils, and not editorial type stuff, working for the news radio, KSL down there as well, but also songwriting, right? Writing a song, being interested in two different things and learning how to blend both of them into your life. And I think that's amazing. I think that's dope. I cannot wait to see what you do in your future endeavors. I am a new fan of yours, no question about that. And again, I thank you for coming on to my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. My final question to you is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, music, anything at all before we conclude?
Hmm. I think we've covered it. You've been so thorough and so fun to talk to, and I really enjoyed getting to know you as well. And I look forward to listening to future episodes of your podcast. This is awesome that you're doing this.
Well, thank you so much, Mariah. No question. This podcast definitely going to keep going. I want you to enjoy your Saturday. You and I will most certainly be in touch, and I look forward to seeing you down the road. No question about it.
Fantastic. Well, so nice to meet you and keep in touch, and I'd love to read some more of your projects too.
Thank you so much. You take
Yeah.
care.
You too. Bye.